Hello guys, welcome. So I am continuing my journey through Take That's albums and we have arrived at Nobody Else. A lot of you have told me great things about this album and that I will probably enjoy it genre-wise, so I'm super ready to get into it. And we are starting off with Sure, which is one of my favorites. Let's get into it. I love how that comes in. Nice. Reading. It's gonna be right for life. What a song. And we're going right into Back for Good. They were starting off strong. Okay, Sure gets better with every listen for me personally. It's just so unapologetically 90s pop/R&B, and it's perfectly blended between those two genres in my opinion. And of course you have Gary's writing, which lends itself to those two genres. In my opinion, that's one of their 90s songs that has aged very well. Like, of course it sounds dated, it sounds like a 90s track, but in a good way. Hopefully that makes sense. Anywho, Back for Good. A classic.
Got a fist of pure emotion, got a head of shattered dreams. Gotta leave it all behind now. Whatever I said, whatever I didn't mean it. I just want you back for good. Want you back for me. Whatever I said, whatever I
Oh, that was so pretty.
Now it's time that you came back for good.
It's so crazy to listen to that song in this context because Back for Good was my introduction to them, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but little did I know what was to come. But also it's kind of funny having more context now because I know how big this song was for them, but they definitely had a few hits under their belts prior to Back for Good. Just saying. Also, it was nice to listen to just the audio because I was able to pay more attention to the background vocals, and wow, that was a spectacular vocal arrangement. Their harmonies are always good, but I found those vocals to be especially memorable. And oh my gosh, I'm forgetting to add my favorites. Okay, taking care of that. All right, Every Guy.
Every guy needs a girl like you. Every girl needs a guy like me. Oh yeah. Every guy needs a girl like you.
I'm already loving where this is going.
That's how it's meant to be. Every guy needs a girl like you.
Oh yes. I love that they're singing in that nasally tone. It's such a fun 90s cliche. I'm already adding this track to my favorites. I don't care. Well, we are 3 for 3. That track was fire. I don't normally say things are fire in that context, but how could I not? It was fire. It was hot and steamy, obviously, but in a very fun way. Didn't feel like they were taking themselves seriously at all. And of course, I have to credit their vocal performances just as much as Gary's writing. So far, loving the direction this is going in sonically. Cannot stress that enough. This particular sound just speaks to my soul. So I'm glad to know that a lot of you were able to pick up on that and guess that I would enjoy this album, and yeah, so far I am. Also, being 3 tracks in now, I'm remembering a few weeks ago when I listened to Gary's interview with Lance Bass on Lance's boy band podcast, where they were discussing the fact that the band broke up right as they were about to take this album over to America to promote. And of course it is what it is, you know, that was long ago, but hearing that and now hearing this album so far just breaks my heart to think of what could have been, because in my honest American opinion, I think if they had come over here with this project, sounding how they sounded, performing how they performed, looking how they looked, with the charming British accents being a cherry on top, they would have absolutely annihilated probably every other popular boy band in the US. Like, there would have been no competition. But, oh well, doesn't take anything away from what I am hearing so far. All right, Sunday to Saturday. So sonically cohesive so far. That makes me so happy.
In the clouds, in my dreams and pouring rain, hand in hand under this rainbow, we can always stay the same, yeah, yeah. It's a Saturday love. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, any day.
Look at Take That, teaching us the days of the week. Who said boy bands can't be educational? I love how they're playing around with the melody. That was insane in terms of the instrumentation. Such a feel-good track. Again, I can imagine that song killing in a live setting. Already so stoked to watch the Nobody Else tour. So don't get me wrong, I thoroughly enjoyed that song. It was fantastic, and I would certainly not skip it if I were to listen to this album straight through. But I'm not going to add it to my favorites because it just didn't grab me as much melodically as the others so far. And now we are getting into the titular track, Nobody Else.
Yeah. Looking back, we're the only couple still together.
That's an accomplishment.
Nobody else in this world could love you more. Nobody could love you.
Oh my gosh. Still carrying the harmonies in the background. Super happy about that.
To discover one another, yeah. We'll just start again. We'll just start again. Nobody else in this world could love you any more than I do. I feel it, baby, feel it, baby. Oh, nobody, no, nobody.
Oh, Gary.
Nobody
Okay, well, I just found another favorite. That's a wedding song if I've ever heard one. Honestly, I felt myself getting a little emotional towards the middle of the song, and I guess it was just because of its beauty, sonically speaking. I don't really have any ties to the lyrics, so yeah, sometimes songs do get to me just because of how they sound. And actually, I think that's the first time that's happened with the Take That track, so another sign of evolution. Hitting even harder with the deep cuts. But as I was saying, I love that they are taking their time with the vocals and the instrumentation on a lot of these tracks because this genre, it's very, very R&B influenced, and R&B is about vocals and feeling the instrumentation, and they are delivering. All right, next up, Never Forget, a song I will never forget. Also going to be interesting to hear this song in the context of the album.
We've had success, we've had good times. My face in the moonlight. Listen, I realize what a fool I could be. Just 'cause I look so high, I don't have to see me. This will be someone else's dream. Safe from the arms of disappointment for so long.
They did a fantastic job of making this song sound joyful. Is that a choir in the background? Sounds like it. Yeah, that's definitely a choir. Again, so joyful. I'm just realizing the outro of that song really reminded me of Hey Jude, with everybody joining in. That was so nice. And yeah, Never Forget definitely fits within the album perfectly. Obviously a beautiful song lyrically, and I can appreciate it even more because I know what the song means to the guys, especially at this time in their careers. That being said, I'm a little shocked that Never Forget is only track 6 because that really felt like an ending the album moment. But I'm curious to see where we go next. Hanging On to Your Love. Really nice panning on the vocals. Back for Good. I can't tell if that was supposed to be a reference or not. I thought that was a saxophone. Wow. Now I'm wondering just how often Gary does those super high notes because I never see them coming, which I guess is a nice approach. I do love a good surprise. So with Hanging On to Your Love, I thought that track was alright. I just feel like it needed something a little more production-wise. Either that or the song itself could have been a little shorter because it honestly felt a bit like an interlude to me. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to put Never Forget in the middle of the album, the track following it has to bring something to the table. Anywho, next up we have Holding Back the Tears. Starting off with strings. Okay. Oh my gosh. That intro was a literal film score.
So I'm not holding back the tears anymore. Trying to escape the heartache, trying to escape emotion. No, I'm not holding back the tears anymore. Now here I am sharing that pain and the lonely tears. I'm walking a road of broken glass.
Talk about tables turning.
So I'm not holding back the tears anymore. I'm trying to escape the heartache. I'm trying to escape emotion. No, yesterday's my memory
Ooh.
of all the times that I depended on.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm. Now that is how you ballad. And you may be asking, did I really just turn ballad into a verb? Yes, I did, because I need it to properly convey how that track made me feel. Also, I really appreciated the message of the song. A good cry, especially a well-needed cry, can do no wrong. Unless you're wearing cheap makeup, then I would reconsider. But I can't really picture Gary having that problem. Though, I don't know what he does in his free time. This just got way off topic. Okay, yeah. Gorgeous ballad. Loved those strings. Next up, Hate It. Oh, that reminds me. That was kind of cruel of them to put hanging on to your love in between Never Forget and Holding Back the Tears. Like, not to be shady. I am not in the hanging on to your love hate club, but sandwiching that song between those two tracks feels like a prank. All right, let's continue. Am I misinterpreting this song? Sounds like he's in love with a girl that cheated on him. If that is the case, toxic.
She was mine, she was mine.
That bridge was sick. I hate how catchy that chorus is. That's going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day. You know, that song kind of hit me with a sneak attack. Within the first minute, I wasn't sure how I would feel about it, but as I continued to listen, it really grew on me. It's nothing special. You know, there are definitely better tracks on this album, but that was just nice to listen to. For me at least. Also had a sense of humor injected into it, which I always appreciate. Oh, and after listening to it, I have reconsidered what I think the song is about. Maybe there was no cheating, but the woman just left for whatever reason, and she's not coming back. I guess either way, it's equally heartbreaking. Oh well. Alright, next up we have Lady Tonight.
I got this thing for you to make you feel alright. I got this thing for you to make you feel alright. I got this thing for you to make you feel alright. This thing for you to
Okay, first of all, what just happened? Second of all, what thing? What thing do you have for me? They have not been playing around with these funky bass lines. I think I know what thing Robbie has to make me feel alright. Yep. Okay, I have mixed feelings about that track. So I loved Robbie's intro and his rap verse for the bridge. I also loved That Lady Tonight, the chorus. That was so catchy. But actually, I had the same problem with that track as I did with Hanging On to Your Love, which is the production. However, in this case, I didn't feel like the production was lazy or cheap. I just felt like the song sounded way too similar to Shore. And it's a shame because that song had quite a bit going for it, in my opinion. I honestly wish Robbie would have had a singing verse as well, but, you know, it's a little late for that, so definitely not one I would skip when listening to the album all the way through. The Day After Tomorrow seems to be the last studio track on this album that is not a remix or a live performance, so looks like this will end the album. Let's get into it. Why do I already have chills?
Only one way to describe. This is the secret I am hiding. Never been here before. So sad. Is it time now to turn away and lose everything I've ever had?
Why is this so pretty and depressing at the same time?
Tomorrow, maybe today. Is life never easy, or do we make it hard for ourselves?
The golden question.
We need to look for something new.
This feels like R&B with a bit of folk and alternative mixed into it, and it works!
Tomorrow to rest.
Ooh, okay. That song left me a little speechless. What do I say after that? What are words? What is English? I don't know. First, There Was Nobody Else, then Holding Back the Tears, and I thought those tracks would be the end of my heartbreak. But no. They just had to come in with Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball and wreck me completely with the last track. But that answers my question. That's why Never Forget was not the ending. Okay, they had something just as good, in my opinion. I think a big part of why that track is so shocking to me is because of how mature it is. There were many noticeable signs of evolution and maturity throughout this record. But I have to mention Gary once again and give him credit as a songwriter for The Day After Tomorrow, because that was a beautifully written song. Also, if you guys thought I didn't notice or wasn't internally losing my mind over Mark's vocal performance there, you'd be mistaken. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think his performance on that track vocally touched me even more than Babe. It was just so pretty. I will just quickly share my overall thoughts. Once again, loved the R&B and pop direction they went in. The overall production quality definitely took a few steps up, and I'm excited to see how that continues as we make a pretty big jump from this project to the next ones. A jump in time, I mean. Love that they went with the longer track lengths in order to accommodate all of the instrumentation and not rush any of the songs. Besides Hanging On to Your Love, I didn't feel like any of them overstayed their welcome. And what are my favorites, you might be asking? Well, even if you weren't asking that, I'm going to tell you, because that's what I do at the end of these album reactions. So we have Shore, Back for Good, Every Guy, Nobody Else, Never Forget, Holding Back the Tears, Hate It, and The Day After Tomorrow. And if I had to pick a top 3, I'd have to say Shore, Every Guy, and The Day After Tomorrow. But I also really want to include Nobody Else. Yeah, we're gonna have to go with the top 4. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more and let me know what your favorite tracks were. I love you all, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!